Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well. This is the third episode of the Potato Fields podcast. We have Rosalu today. She's drinking the inconspicuous yellow liquid. Lovely.
Oh, sorry. Hello.
Hello, Rosalu.
I didn't see you there.
You did?
I was too busy with whatever this is.
Lovely.
It's definitely piss.
For any new viewers, just to clarify, this isn't a Minecraft podcast. Yes, we're in Minecraft, but the topics aren't necessarily about Minecraft. It's just the setting. There's very little more to it than that. There is someone banging on doors just down the corridor. Love it when that happens. But
sucks.
yeah, so the set is different this time. Just like with the other two, we're in a tree because they have a bit of a tree theme
I like
going
this
on.
tree because, I'm making a tree house for the next Minecraft season.
Yes,
so this is very fitting.
Yeah, you've been testing,
slowly
test
working
really
at it.
Yeah, it's really nice. Pink has been reserved by you for this one, so I'm blue this time.
Yes,
also,
I
Lumi
stole
looks a
your
bit
pink.
different. Lumi has a different skin now, very green.
It's more accurate to the original.
The profile picture and stuff. It's cool. But anyway, do you want to jump into the first question, Rosalu? Also, I want to quickly point out there is a marketable plushie behind you.
It's a dead leaf marketable plush. That's what
yes.
you called it. You called it a dead plush.
Yes, it's a thing with her. Typically in Minecraft, they die a lot. She dies all the time.
Yeah.
So the marketable plushie.
In the season free spawn, you had a statue of me with a coconut falling from a tree.
Yeah,
I will say that's one of my favorite parts of the server. I'm being serious.
Yeah, our previous season's spawn on the Minecraft server has her about to get hit by a coconut, about to die. It's very fitting and very on brand.
Imagine dying to a coconut. That would be the worst way to go out.
They're a lot harder than people typically think they are. Like, you can definitely die by having one land on your head in just the right spot. They are very tough.
But that'd be the most embarrassing way to die.
Dies by coconut.
Especially in Minecraft. Except the most embarrassing death has to be falling from a 4-block height.
Oh yes, lovely.
With a half a heart.
Yeah, so it's become like a running thing where she dies a lot. She doesn't typically intend on it, but they die a lot.
Yeah.
But
so, are we gonna get into the first question? Yeah.
Yeah, the first question is not related to you dying a lot. However, the question is, it's a very interesting one to jump straight into. What is the minimum... Sorry, I can't talk today. Wow, okay. What is the minimum amount of sand required to make a pile of sand?
See, now that one's kind of tricky. I mean...
It's subjective.
What defines a pile to begin with?
Yeah, so how many grains of sand would you need to look at that sand and go, oh yeah, that's a pile of sand, instead of, oh yeah, that's
I would think
4 grains of sand
to fill your palm, but
so you're going by like a
grains
physical
of sand would be that.
So you're going by like a physical size, okay? Which
how many grains of sand would that be? I feel like one of those fair games where you have to guess how much is in a bottle.
Yeah, it's how long a piece of string is really. It's very subjective, but I wrote down, so a sand becomes a pile of sand when the pile is at a point when you can no longer count the individual grains of sand. Like, if you look at some sand and go, oh yeah, there's 7 grains, that's not a pile. But if you look at it and you can't individually count the grains of sand without tools and stuff, yeah, that's a pile. I think
that's an interesting take on it. But to be able to take an individual grain of sand, it might be a bit difficult because, imagine trying to pick up a single grain and place it down, and then keep placing them until it becomes a pile.
Yeah, I feel as if there's no one it's not really like a hard cut to sand to a pile of sand. It's not like, oh yeah, 100 grains of sand is a pile. No, I feel as if it's at a point where you can't count. Like if you look at some sand and go, oh yeah, there's 17 grains of sand, that's not a pile. But if you look at it and there's like, yeah, I can't tell how much sand is there. That is a pile. That's what I would think. What do you guys think? What I feel as if there's not many other ways you can go about this question. There are people slamming doors in my corridor. I hope I can filter that out.
I mean, even picking it up in your hand, it still seems like that's bigger than a pile, technically. Right?
I mean, if the palm of your hand has a lot of sand, there's like thousands upon thousands of grains of sand there. Like, sand is very small.
Yeah. It's like compressed dirt or whatever. I forget what it is.
I think it's like eroded rock or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel as if
like I've seen close-ups of sand under a microscope because science class, all that.
Yeah.
And it's like a bunch of tiny crystals, I think.
Yeah, I think
very
it's
strange.
I don't know a lot about sand. I'm not a sandologist. But I feel as if, I mean, yeah, I know it's really small. Sand is teeny tiny.
So what do we agree on then? Like, I think I like your idea where it's as many grains of sand as you can tell.
Yeah, I feel as if there are very few other ways of going about the question. Like,
yeah,
I don't feel it's like, 73 grains of sand, that's not really a pile. Like, yeah, you can technically count any pile of sand. But I feel like if it's at a point where you can't, at like very quick glance, tell, that's a pile.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't have the conflicting opinion here this time.
Okay, so if you're about to pick up...
I don't even know what makes a pile.
This ties into the next question perfectly, which is your question, so I'll let you read it out. But if you're about to pick up a load of sand, you would use possibly a shovel, perhaps. Yes. And your question...
Yes, my next question is a shovel a spoon?
Which apparently is an Ace Attorney reference. I don't know if it is
it's
or not.
It's not really. It's a reference to a meme that got turned into an Ace Attorney objection video.
Oh, okay, so it's a meme. It's not like a canon thing. Okay.
Yeah.
So, is a shovel
Lion's
a spoon?
Gonna go crazy over this one.
Oh, definitely. He's watching this. Hi, Lion. Get it? Because his name is Hi Lion, and we just said hello to him.
Hi, Lion. Now
Hi, Lion. Absolute comedy.
You viewer, laugh.
Laugh. Okay, so the question. Is a shovel a spoon? Do you want to go first? This is your question, so I feel like you might have a cool response to this.
See, so the thing is, like, imagine, like, so you use a spoon because it's big enough that you can pick up the, like, cereal, whatever you're eating, in an easy way. So, like, imagine, like, a person who's, like, or some creature that's, like, a giant. Like, would they use a normal-sized spoon to eat something?
I mean, yeah,
No, I think they could use a shovel because they wouldn't be able to fit a normal spoon in their hand.
Yeah. I guess so, yeah. I mean... But, that's like saying, like... I'm trying to think of a good... I'm looking around the set for good analogies. Like, can you use a book as a doorstop? Yes, but that's not its intended use. Actually, no, that's stupid. Yeah, I mean, shovels pick things up. So do spoons. So I guess, yeah, a shovel would be a spoon.
What if you eat dirt? Which would be a weird thing to eat, but like...
Earth is a soup.
I mean...
Earth is a soup. So eat the soup with the shovel spoon.
Oh, that could have been another question.
Maybe one day.
Is the Earth a soup?
Is cereal a soup?
That is another... That was the other one I was asking, I think, before I switched it to the spoon one.
There is one other question which you've done, which is interesting. But yeah, I do agree that a shovel is a spoon. I don't think there's much objection.
Is there anything else to say about it? Like, is there no more debate?
There's no more debate and there's no more objections.
It's a quick one. A quick
Please
round.
laugh.
No, I'm actually.
Wow. Okay.
Gosh darn it. You make me laugh from telling me to laugh.
I made you laugh by laughing. Okay, so the next question isn't spoons or sand related, but this one is something that I've asked myself. So the very few times I've tried to skip sleeping and it gets to the morning or 10 a.m., whatever, it still feels like the previous day. So
sometimes
the question is, when does the next day really begin if it's not midnight? So yeah, obviously the next day begins at midnight. But let's say you're not sleeping that night. When does the next day feel like it actually begins?
I think like the next day doesn't really begin until after you've slept. But I'm still
that's the thing with me. Like, because I've never like skipped a night of sleep and then go the entire next day without sleeping. I've never done that. I know of people who have. So this question probably applies to them more than me. But I always go back to sleep. And the next day begins for me when I wake up from that sleep.
Yeah. The days that I like wake up super early, like the sun's not out yet sometimes, so it doesn't feel like it's a day. It doesn't feel like it's the daytime yet. It feels like it's still night, and I just woke up just randomly, and I wouldn't count that as the next day either.
I mean, I had a job once where I had to like get up at 3 a.m, because it started at 5.
Oh gosh.
And
that sounds awful.
Kind of felt like the next day, but it didn't really feel like the next day until the sun rose.
Yeah.
Not sunset, sunrise.
Yeah, I don't know what to even count as when the exact moment day comes, like the next day.
Yeah, it's strange. I feel like if you're not sleeping, how about the first whenever you have breakfast or the first time you eat that day? Maybe, I don't know, it's a strange one. I mean, for me anyway, I'm one of those people who has breakfast immediately after waking up. So I feel like if I had breakfast, it would feel like the next day. Yeah, it's subjective. There's no like real answer. It's just, what do you think?
Me, I think like overall though, it's whenever I wake up. It's the next day.
That's I mean that's
maybe
the one I think
yesterday
most people
never even
with.
happened. It's just it always is the next day.
Yeah, I mean I'm going into this question with the perspective of not sleeping the night before. Like, yeah, if you do sleep, the next day begins when you wake up. I think most people will agree on that, but it's a tricky one. I'm not sure. Maybe, I guess, just when you first have breakfast, because it doesn't really feel like the next. It just feels like one very long day if you don't sleep.
Yeah, especially since like if I wasn't stuck with working and stuff, and everyone else being awake in the morning, I'd be like a night person for sure.
Yeah.
It's just much more peaceful at night. No one's moving around and doing stuff.
I agree with that. There's less people. Like right now, there are people in the corridors banging doors and slamming. They're very loud. I'm sorry if you can hear them. I'm going to try and filter them out in editing.
It's just like everything revolves around the daytime. So
yeah, it's a lot more chill in the evening. It's nice because you can get things done. You don't have to worry about sound, and it's nice. It's more consistent at night.
I accidentally opened the barrel.
But no, I can't think of a segue to your question, but yours.
I mean, I guess I could start it. Now this is the question. This is the question everyone's been waiting for. The question to end all questions. The greatest debate you'll ever hear. Is water wet?
Is Water, wet. Water, you doing? I just threw water bottles at her. Is water wet? So I done 30 seconds of research for this question, and I have an answer. It's not an
educated guess.
I have an educated answer through research, and it's not an interesting one. I just searched up the definition of the word wet, which is covered or saturated with water or another liquid. And fun fact, water is saturated with water. So yes, water is wet.
I mean, I feel like I have to, like, even if I agree with water being wet, I still have to go to the counter argument of
someone has to.
Like, okay, but like, what if the water molecule is separate and there's no other water touching it? Is it wet? I don't think it is.
Rosalu,
it's just one singular water molecule.
Rosalu, you used a very scientific word. Therefore, you are being awarded the second nerd emoji of the podcast.
I didn't even research for this one. I just remember stuff from school.
Rosalu, you have earned the second nerd emoji. Acing had the first one. Nerd.
I'm gonna go see myself out. I'm a nerd now.
You are now a nerd.
My profile picture on Discord is literally reflects it. Like,
nerd emoji.
I embrace the nerd.
Embrace the nerd. I just have to like find a Minecraft skull that you can wear. That's just a nerd emoji.
But don't you think if a single piece of water isn't touching any other water, can you really consider it wet?
I mean, technically speaking, is anything really touching anything? Because there's like resistance between particles and shit, and like nothing is really touching anything.
Oh,
so
you
technically everything
too. I'm sorry.
Shit.
You get the third nerd emoji.
I got the third nerd emoji. I'm out of here.
No, come back. I can't do a self-podcast.
Fine, I can't. Someone has to host this podcast. I can't just walk out.
Yes.
I cannot deal with being the third nerd.
But really, though, in that case, like, that means that water isn't touching water because it has a force of resistance.
That's another scientific word, but I can't give you a second nerd.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel water is wet. Water cannot be dry, because then if water is dry, then nothing is wet.
Yeah, I guess that is a good explanation.
Either water is wet or nothing is wet.
Yep. I agree here. Even though I had to get the second opinion out there.
That's fair. So I guess we're in agreement. Water is in fact wet.
And that
just because you had to counter argument. That's the
end
of the debate questions.
I can't even say it.
Lasted 20 minutes. Actually less, because the intro lasted like 4 minutes. Before we actually started recording. Yeah, it was pretty good. We got less discussion out of it than the other podcast. However, the questions that are about to happen will lead to a lot of discussion. So most of the discussion will be in the later questions.
Yeah. Lots of discussion.
Lots of discussion. And I will do a mini spoiler. So you know the first podcast where we had Lion and we talked about injuries. Yeah, injuries part 2 is happening later. It's going to be lovely because I've made notes of 4 different injuries. And the reason why it's a part 2 to begin with is because you actually have things to say. But we'll say that for later.
But just content warning. There's going to be a lot of content warning.
Oh, God. Okay. Yeah, we'll do that when the time comes. For now, we have something a lot more friendly, a lot more nice. So we're on to game questions now. We have 2 game questions. It's my question, yeah. And I was trying to, like, not go for the same questions that we've had before. So, which game has your favorite soundtrack? We've had similar questions. We had Acing ask, what's your favorite game track with lyrics? But this is just a general, which game has your favorite soundtrack? So this isn't your favorite track from a game. This is your favorite game based on its soundtrack. My answer is very not interesting.
See, I can't really answer that because I have so many favorites that
okay, go for one
narrowing it
of
down
them.
to one is like difficult.
Okay,
Do you
don't
really
go for
want
them.
me to? Do you
knowing
really want me to go for the
knowing
one?
you're going to say Pokemon Mystery Dungeon.
Yeah. Am I allowed to discuss?
Go for it.
So this isn't really. Did you say this isn't really like a single song? It's just talking about the soundtrack.
The entire soundtrack. But if you want to talk about a single track, go for it.
Okay. So like, there's a lot of songs in the game. Like the entire soundtrack goes across so many different genres that like I feel like anyone could like a song from the game.
Right.
Like there's a waltzy one for a desert. There's a super upbeat one for a coastline.
Oh.
There's like a peaceful one for a forest.
Right.
Yeah, there's a lot of different kinds of music in the game.
I have never seen nor played either of them, but I mean,
how do I force you to listen to the music? What do I have to do?
I may listen at some point. We'll see.
Okay, because once I've done that Minecraft build, it has a theme that goes with it.
Oh, okay. A whole theme, okay. But no, I haven't listened to anything from this. I think you've sent like 1 or 2 tracks before.
Yeah.
I don't really remember them, but I know that you like the game a lot. She talks about it a lot.
I never shut up about it. You will never hear the end of the Grovile discussion.
The end is nowhere near. But
it's the same as Amogus, except it's only
Amogus! Sussy was. You see, like, the petals on that poppy? It's red.
No!
Actually...
Don't even say it.
Actually, the bookshelf behind us...
Don't even say it. Don't even say it.
Eepers, jeepers. That's Among Us. The books, they have like a little label on them. They look sus. Just for anyone who's listening, the labels do look a little bit sus.
There's like some very specific songs that I can name that like have torn into me and have like consumed my life. I can never stop listening to them ever, no matter what I do. Like that desert song I was talking about. It's got the most basic title ever. It's literally just called Northern Desert. But it's like a super waltzy song that's like, I don't know. I just really like it for some reason.
That's fair. I mean, once again, I haven't heard anything from the soundtrack. I've just heard it's nice. I can't speak because I've never listened, but apparently it's good.
But like, this is spoilers. I don't think anyone's really caring to play the game though. But like, towards the end of the game, there's like an extremely emotional part that like tore into my soul.
Right.
And the song that accompanies it is called some people call it I Don't Want to Say Goodbye, but the official name for it is Don't Ever Forget.
That sounds like the Deltarune. Almost.
Yeah, but this game came out many, many years before it. So technically it's the original.
Deltarune copied Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. Impossible.
So true. What were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say it ties into my answer. But if you have more to say for Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, go ahead.
Yeah, because this ending song happens at a point where like you have to like you served your purpose in the world. You saved like the planet from time being destroyed. Right. So because you changed the future, you now have to like disappear because you were from the future yourself.
Oh, so it's like a paradox.
Kinda.
Kind of a paradox.
But like you you had to leave, like, with no word prior, you had to leave your partner that you spent the entire game with. And,
that's
yeah.
very sad. No, games where you have like a partner and like they go at the end, that's really sad. A game's coming to mind.
You're the one that's leaving.
Oh.
You're the one that's leaving, and the partner, you have to see them go through all these moments where, like, they want you to return, and it's just...
But you cannot. No, not talking from experience.
Until post-credit scene, we're like, oh yeah, by the way, you have plot armor. Here you go, you're back.
Huh. I don't know, just games where you have like a partner or something and you get split up at the end or whatever. That's really sad. That's really sad. I mean, I don't know if I want to spoil the ending of a game. I'm not going to spoil the ending of a certain game. But, I don't know, just one game comes to mind. Is it
Danganronpa?
It's not Danganronpa. It's not Danganronpa.
Okay.
Is
it Red Dead 2?
No, it's a Zelda game.
Oh. I never would have guessed that.
I'm not going to say which one, but there's one where you have like a partner throughout the entire game, and it's really cool. It's sad though, but anyway, so mine isn't as interesting, or actually, mine is very copy and paste. A lot of people share this opinion. Undertale.
Yeah,
mostly just because of how
kind of
impactful it was for me.
We were both expected with the answers.
It's obviously Undertale. The soundtrack fits perfectly for the game, and everything that happens in game just ties in perfectly, and it's really very well done. I like it a lot.
I know that, like, I could definitely say, like, I had a lot of good songs in that game, but, like, kill me for answering this, like, but I like Finale more than Save the World and Hopes and Dreams.
Finale is good, to be fair. I don't know. I am a Hopes and Dreams enjoyer. Enjoyer.
Finale is more climactic. It's literally named Finale. You're at the end of the most brutal boss fight like you could ever be through, because if you go into that blind, if you go into that fight blind, like, you're in for something.
I did. When it first happened, I thought it was like a rare chance for it to happen, and it wasn't every single playthrough.
How did you react to Omega Flowey?
I genuinely thought, like, I knew that the game had like different endings and stuff, and I thought this was just like a one-off ending. I didn't think it was like what everyone has, but it was very well done. It was very well done.
I meant, like, what your thoughts of Omega Flowey's design?
Yeah, it's
just
not what I was expecting.
It's a design, that's for sure.
It is a design of all time.
I feel like Toby had to be inspired by the Gaius fight from Earthbound there, because that was one of the weirdest fights in a kid's games as well.
I don't know. I haven't played it. Lion did mention, or was it Acing? I don't know. One of the two. They mentioned Earthbound. I don't know. Maybe at one point I'll try
Basically,
it. But
the story goes is like the creator of Earthbound, or one of them, like, as a kid they accidentally went to the wrong like theater room,
right,
and they saw a rated R movie, and it traumatized them. So they made the final boss in Earthbound based on that trauma.
Oh, I mean, that's quite interesting, to be fair.
It is,
but no,
a story.
Back to the question.
It's like one of those stories, like, did you know Super Mario Bros. 2 is actually called Doki Doki?
But no.
See, if you want me to drag on the soundtrack question, I can keep going with other games.
We have many other times for stories coming up, but if you want to go for it, go for it.
Because I'm just going to say, like, the other games I had written down. I had Super Mario Galaxy, obviously. One Shot, obviously. I also had Undertale on there. Terraria, Stardew, and Minecraft.
Oh, Minecraft.
And I couldn't really think of anything else, but there's probably another soundtrack I really like that I just forgot about somehow.
Yeah. I don't know. I only wrote down Undertale, but I also, in my head, Minecraft, Deltarune as well. I mean, Undertale and Deltarune pretty much fall under the same thing. Danganronpa's very good. Terraria has a good soundtrack. A lot of Zelda games have incredible soundtracks.
Yeah. I mean, like, I was also going to say, like, specifically right now, the Tears of the Kingdom trailer free theme.
I've listened to that so much.
I love... I want a complete version without sound effects, but I don't think it's happening.
Yeah,
the only reason we have the Breath of the Wild trailer theme in full is because they just slapped it in Smash Ultimate.
Yeah, I mean, I hope they do it for the Tears of the Kingdom one at some point. I would just love to hear it in full, because there are like a couple of like somewhat clean versions, but it's not the same. That
one clean version that I posted, it was like the best clean version of all. The video is private now.
Oh,
and I didn't save it.
That's one that I've been listening to, and it's public. Unless it's now
public again. Okay,
let me have a look, because the one I've been listening to, it's public.
Is it a different the last time I checked, anyway. Posted, though?
I think it was the same one, but I don't think it was ever private.
Okay,
let me have a look.
I mean, there was one time I checked and it was, so I don't know.
Strange. I mean, for me, it's always been public, but I haven't checked in like a day. Okay. So let me have a very quick look. Yeah. But no, I've listened to the Tears of the Kingdom theme, like the trailer theme, so much. It's really good. Yeah. I am incredibly hyped for Tears of the Kingdom. It comes out in a few days at this point.
3 days. 3 days.
3 days. And it's are you playing it digitally?
No, physically.
Okay, so we both have to wait for it to arrive.
Well, technically I don't. I just had to wait until after work. And then I can go pick up my pre-order.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. The one that I've been listening to, it's public.
But I'm going to be recording. Like, I don't know if I'm going to be doing a full playthrough recording, but I'm definitely going to record my first hours playing for sure.
That's fair. I don't blame you for that.
The method I have to use to do it, though, like, since I don't have a capture card, there's like a USB streaming thing. That uses the internal recording feature. But I need to
just press record every 30 seconds.
No. I mean, because that feature is like enabled at all times. So like through a homebrew app, you can just get access to that recording. That's cool. It's locked to 720p and 30 frames. I mean, Tears of the Kingdom is 30 frames anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't know, I am incredibly hyped for it. I've ordered it through Amazon. It'll be arriving on Friday. In this area, it'll probably arrive at like 7 p.m. So it's going to be a very long day.
I'm going insane and buying the carrying case and Pro Controller as well. Because I need a case for my Switch, since like it bangs around in my backpack all the time. All the stuff that's in there. And I'd rather it not get damaged because it's a limited edition design.
That's fair. Oh, it's that one. Okay, that's fair. No, like
it's a Pokemon one. It's not Zelda.
Yeah, I don't know.
Although I like the Zelda one.
It does look pretty cool, to be fair. I don't know. I've just ordered the game. Nothing special with it, but I am just very, very hyped for it.
The Pro Controller is kind of self-explanatory. My Pro Controller started drifting after 6 years.
Oh, wow.
I'm surprised it lasted that long, I'll be honest.
I've had mine for about 4 or 5.
Other people have so many problems.
Yeah.
I've been hearing problems with Pro Controllers as well that keep happening.
I actually haven't had an issue with mine yet. I've had mine since when did Smash Ultimate come out? Because I've had it since then. That was 2018?
Yeah, okay, so it was December 2018.
Yeah, I would have had it for about 4 or 5 years then. And I've had no problems yet.
But mine was from launch day, so there may have been problems from that, but it was working surprisingly well the whole entire time. I use it as my main controller on my computer as well. I don't
same. I've spent like 50 hours on Celeste on PC, and I've used my controller throughout all of it. But no, like, have your Joy-Cons drifted? Have your Joy-Con drifted at any point?
No, but I did get water damage on one of my sets.
Oh. On both of them?
Actually, no. No, I think the other set I had before the OLED, I think it did start drifting, actually. I don't remember, though. I think the only reason I wanted new Joy-Cons was because, like, the right one had disconnectivity issues. Like, if anything got in front of it, it just disconnected immediately. Which was very, very annoying.
That was launch day, wasn't it? I know that, like, the very, very early Switches had a load of problems with connectivity with Joy-Con.
That was a launch day Joy-Con, but I'm talking about, like, the Switch I got in 2019.
Oh.
The first Joy-Cons for that one got water damage, and then I had to buy a entirely new set.
Huh.
And now I'm not using those anymore either, because I'm using my new OLED ones.
And that's fair. I know, I bought a new set of Joy-Con when Smash came out. I bought a Pro Controller and Joy-Con. I don't know why. I bought both, but I did. So the set I've had since I got my Switch, a few months after launch, that started drifting 2021, maybe? So I replaced the sticks. And now they're drifting again.
I'm lucky then, because I didn't really have much problems until, like, years or two after.
Yeah. I know, the same controllers have drifted twice.
I hope I can get the Zelda Pro Controller, though, because it looks so cool.
It does.
But I don't know how many people are going to be trying to get their hands on it.
Probably a lot. I'm thinking of just making, like, a custom one, the Joy-Con, where I, like, buy two sets of different colors. I don't know.
Well, my dad did say he is probably going to go to a midnight release and see if he can get a Pro Controller for me, which would be awesome. Because I won't be able to go to a midnight release because I have work.
A game like Tears of the Kingdom, as hype as that is, you want the best playing experience. Get that new controller.
Yes.
I'm so hyped for it.
The new controller.
Okay then. On the topic of games, the next question is yours. Do you want to read it out? I mean, I have no notes for it, by the way.
Hold on. Have you ever wanted to make your own game?
My answer is very simple. Yes, but I never really had any plans of any kind. Like, I've wanted to, but I don't have any plans of any kind to mention. The closest thing to that is the Tato server, where it's not really my own game, but a kind of experience and story that I can kind of grow, but not really in my own game.
Let me move over to my game ideas folder that has 90 notes in it.
Yeah, you sent me a screenshot. You have a lot of notes. Oh, God.
So, I don't even know how to explain it, but, like, one of the main themes in the game, because, like, I'm taking notes here from, like, I had an old meme channel that, like, one of the main lore themes on that meme channel was glitches and corruption. And I decided, you know what? I want to make, like, a game that's intentionally glitchy at times, but not, like, entirely.
So an intentionally
like, it only
glitchy
happens
game.
sometimes. Like, I mean, like, how part of the story is that there's, like, some, like, I'm stealing here, but I'm using the name Sunset as a name of a corporation that's actually,
it exists.
Like, technological. It's actually technological rather than marketing. You know, it's not an actual, like, shop or anything.
Sunset
like the Minecraft
is
server.
Real.
It's real, kind of. Kind of real. But, like, the idea is that, like, someone infiltrated their base and activated a machine that was meant to, like, help people out, but it was still in testing. So instead, it caused, like, a shockwave effect that kind of corrupted the world.
So it corrupts the world. It's glitchy.
I would say the character that activated the machine, but spoilers.
It was Rosalu. Guess it's the entire game's plot.
I can't really hide it now. She starts off as evil. She starts off being evil.
I was guessing. It was only a joke guess. I didn't think it would be you. It is you.
But that leads into like when she's making the escape, lightning hits her plane and she crashes, losing the memory of anything that just happened.
Oh, that is a absolute spoiler.
I mean, it's not really a spoiler because all this stuff that happens in this game, like that I'm talking about, happens at the very beginning. So, like, if I were to ever release it or start working on it properly, like, I'm not really spoiling much. I'll be honest.
Fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
But no, I have never really considered making a game. It's something that I've kind of wanted to do, but I've never really had any plans for it. I don't really know if I would do anything like that. I also can't code to save my life.
Oh, I know very basic stuff, but I've kind of been forgetting it over time.
I know very basic stuff in Python and absolutely nothing else, and it's like the worst thing for it.
Yeah, I learned C# in school.
Yeah, I learned Python, which gets you nothing apparently. So I don't know anything.
I love how I don't know what I remember. Like, see, some of these notes are just so random. Like, one of the notes is an idea from like AdC, like C randomly posted about. I think someone accidentally said traffic fight instead of traffic light. And so I took that idea literally, and I'm like, okay, you fight a traffic light character.
I love that. They just got like arms and they just start punching.
Because so like basically there's these two civilizations in ancient times. Like one of them, think of it like they could choose anything they wanted to be, but some of them decided they couldn't decide on what they wanted to be to evolve as a species, you know?
Right.
But so they got banished to another like separate world. But during the process, something interfered, and so it like whatever features were meant to be on one of the planets kind of got shifted around.
Right.
So like on a planet that's supposed to be like completely like Earth, it has a problem with like gravity fields, where the idea is, you go left and right like a normal platformer, but if there's a wall behind you, you press a button, and it becomes top down.
Oh,
I don't know if that sounds like a good idea or not, but it could be. I think like if I do that, I could make it like an interesting concept where like it becomes like trippy sometimes, where like sometimes it looks like you're on this wall, but sometimes it looks like you're on the ground, and etc.
Kind of glitchy. I like that. I love how you've got so many ideas for a game that doesn't exist,
and I really want to make it. Yeah, I really want to make it, but I'm too busy with other things and just can't
make it in
Minecraft. To learn code.
Make it in Minecraft. It's a lot more versatile than you think. Just learn a few command block
but
stuff.
I'd rather it be like unique. It's like its own identity.
That's fair. I get that.
I think so. This was a name I originally had for an SM64 ROM hack, which I'm probably still gonna call it if I ever complete it.
Right.
Rosalu, the Collapsing Curse.
Rosalu, the Collapsing Curse.
Does that sound good?
That's actually quite cool.
Does that sound good?
The Collapsing Curse, I like.
Yeah, maybe I don't say Rosalu at the start.
Yeah, I don't know if that's relevant, but I don't know the full story. But the Collapsing Curse sounds quite cool as a name.
Yeah.
The Collapsing Curse.
See, but now that I've said all these ideas, I feel like I have to rush to make them so no one takes them from me.
Don't. Do not.
I won't.
But no, that's actually really cool. I do like those ideas.
But I feel like just in a quick session, I could probably whip up like the mechanics super easily, because all I feel like I need is like the normal platforming code that I could just get, and also normal RPG code I could probably just get easily as well. and just have it set. So I press one button and it switches which code line it's taken from. I could probably do it like that, but I'd probably have to be more complicated than that.
Yeah, that's fair. I get that. I don't know. It sounds cool. I do like the idea. Hopefully one day you can actually do it. But...
There's some puzzles that can go with it, like imagine there's these blocks that can push you off the edge when you're in platform, but once you change it to top down, you can use them as a way to raise yourself up onto another ledge.
Yeah. That's quite clever, actually. Yeah,
I like
very
that.
Puzzling.
Yeah.
Very puzzling. Gives me I like that a lot.
It's just hard for me to make puzzles. So
I don't know how people come up with puzzles.
I need to think
in
a lot. It'd be cool to have some stuff like Celeste, where you need to figure out what to do to move on.
Yeah, the Celeste platform.
But I don't want it to be too difficult.
Yeah, no, I get that. Coming up with puzzles is really hard. I don't know how people do it. Is you reverse engineer a puzzle or something? I don't know, but I know it's really cool. I have nothing else to add.
I've been juggling around the shockwave idea. I don't know if I want to have it so it can happen in the middle of gameplay, or if it's just something that happens tied to a cutscene, every so often, that will cause the world to change a bit. See, because the two worlds idea is where all the enemies in the game come from. Is they came from the other planet somehow, and are now making themselves they're looking at they're not that intelligent, and they're looking at objects in the world and kind of taking on the form of those objects or people.
So it's a whole thing. Okay.
So it's think Undertale monsters, but objects. And yeah,
those books as objects.
No.
Those books, those sussy books. The suspicious. Okay, no.
One of the characters was going to be a literal bookworm.
Oh, so a nerd.
They're literally a bookworm.
So a nerd emoji. The fourth nerd.
But they're a worm that has a book. It's wings, I guess. That could be interesting.
I want to make a note to myself now. The fourth person that gets the nerd emoji in the podcast, I will call them a bookworm. With absolutely no context, I'm calling them a bookworm. But no, I have nothing else to add. So I'd like to wrap this up.
Keeping going on with this. Okay, I'll just say one more thing though. The game, you will go between the two worlds at some point, and Link Between Worlds style maybe.
Reference.
And the other one is completely out of this world stuff, you would never see on Earth. But then the other planet is literally just Earth, but not, because it's its own planet. It just looks like Earth.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I like that a lot.
And because of the gravity field thing, there's literally a city built in the side of a mountain.
Oh. And it's facing down kind of thing, I'm guessing?
Yeah, but I'm gonna end off by a discussion. There is a lot more I could say, but yeah, I just want to talk about the passion project that I'll probably have at some point.
I would love to see that done at some point. It'd be very cool to see.
All of the OCs I made, I haven't really shown them a lot. I've literally been drawing Pokemon more recently than my actual original characters.
I can confirm.
But yeah, all of those original characters have a purpose in the story.
I do like the idea.
And Rosalu will have a completely new design.
Oh, another new Rosalu design.
Another new one. Yes.
No,
this time completely different.
Yeah, I don't have a lot to mention about the game, but that sounds really cool. I hope one day you can get it done.
Yeah, I might actually try and start something soon. Just get the gist of things.
Yeah, that's fair. I like that a lot.
Okay, let's move on to the next one then. That one kind of dragged on for a while.
And I'm sure the next one will drag out more. Because I have stories and so do you. So we're at the game questions now. We're on to general stuff. And the question is, have you ever had any injuries? So we have injuries part 2. So content warning. Yes, injuries. Injuries. I don't know what you have to mention, but I might be going into detail on some things.
Mine's
just
not
bear that in
too
mind.
bad, but it's still like, you know, serious stuff.
I will say, I'll add it. I can't talk. I'll add this in editing, but if you want to skip ahead, skip ahead. 28 minutes exactly. We go on for a while. Yeah, we move on at an hour 18. Yeah, that many minutes. I would have said it in editing. And then we'll move on to the next question. But yeah, so have you had any injuries? I have 4 written down here. I have many more than 4, but I've got 4 written down.
Look at which ones I wrote down. I think I have 4 as well, but some of them are like super not that serious.
Yeah, I mean, there's
normal general injuries.
I have 2 which aren't serious and 2 which were. And there's like
I have
2
4
or 3
down,
which,
but some of them don't have much discussion.
Yeah, that's all of these. They don't really have much to say in terms of story, but I don't know.
Do you want to go first, though?
Sure. So I'm just trying to think of which one to go for first. I'll start off with a simple one. I have no memory of this because I was like 1 or 2.
Oh.
But I was walking around on some grass and I stepped on a rusty nail. And it went through my foot, apparently.
Ouch.
Rusty nail. And I stepped on it.
Rusty is even worse.
Yep. I don't know what happened after that. I wasn't told, but I'm still alive.
At least you're okay.
Yeah, there's nothing like wrong with my feet or anything. I would never have known that would even happened. But
I think I've scraped my hand against something like a rusty before, but I can't really think if I did or not.
That's fair. I don't know. Like I have no memory of this happening. Like there's no scar or anything like that. I'm only going off of what I was told once, but you know.
I guess I can kind of do like a simple one as well to start off.
Okay.
It was more just annoying than anything. Like I was going up like concrete steps and tripped.
Oh.
Yeah. Big open wound on my knee.
Oh no. No, I also fell off big concrete steps. There was no injury, but what happened?
But like in like a day or two, it wasn't as bad as it was that day.
That's good.
And yeah, all I could remember is I tripped and scraped the knee. That's all I can remember.
Tripped and scraped the knee.
But I'm pretty sure that was like the one time that I wasn't picking at a scab.
Oh.
So if I had picked at that scab, it would have been awful. It was the biggest scab I've ever seen. Yeah. But luckily there was no scar left over from it. At least that I can tell. Yeah.
That's fair.
It was just more annoying than anything. Like pain for like a bit, but like it was fine after I applied some stuff to it.
That's fair. Okay, yeah, 2 simple ones to start off with. I was hit by a car.
What? What? Okay.
Now, it's not like anything crazy dramatic. It's not like I was under the car or anything like that. I was on top of a hill, right? This was a driveway, right? I was on someone's driveway. I was 7. I was like 7. Go for it.
Because you mentioned that, I now remembered another one I can mention that I forgot about.
Okay, awesome. We'll go into that one after. Yeah. But no, so I was like 7, unaccompanied, and I was in some random person's driveway. I don't know why I was, but I was. Now, this house was on a bit of a hill, right? It was a slope.
Yeah, there's not many times I can remember where I've ever been like by myself when I was a kid.
Yeah, same. But for some reason,
there was one time like there was like a paintball thing happening, and for some reason I really wanted to go into it, and my parents were like, "No, don't," and then I ran off. It wasn't really paintball. It was like, think of it more like Splatoon. I had to mention Splatoon, of course.
Oh God, okay.
But like they just had like. It just kind of paint everywhere. I don't remember what the event was.
They were just painting a house. That's all they were doing. It's not a Splatoon reference.
Some random event at a camp I was at where they had like paint fight, whatever, I guess. Yeah, I ran off and I didn't get injured, but like that was the only time I can remember where I was like alone.
That's fair.
Yeah, no, you can get back onto yours now.
I wasn't really alone that much, but for some reason I was at this point. Anyway.
I forgot to mention I got paint in my mouth. That wasn't fun. Of
course you did. Wow. Okay. Yeah, anyway, so I was on this driveway. It was a bit of a slope, so I went down to like the road down below. Now, on this particular day, there were a lot of cars around this driveway, so I couldn't really see the road very well.
Oh,
I was like 7. I was on my bike, and I went down this slope. I went down this person's driveway towards the road, and then I turned.
I still don't know how to use bikes. I can't balance them.
You gotta get your stabilizers, Rosalu. Anyway, so I was riding down this slope towards the road, and I was turning. For some reason, there was a conveniently placed car driving my way when I turned that corner. And I rammed right into them. Now, I wasn't really hurt. My bike took a lot of the damage. The front wheel did, but it was fine. It bounced off this car for some reason. Like there was an impact, but I was completely fine. I just wanted to mention the time I was hit by a car. I was completely fine. I got up.
That could have gone worse if they were going fast.
It could have been much worse. Now, I think I was hit by a car a second time, but I don't think it was very dramatic. I just was crossing a road and I didn't look both ways, and a car was very slow anyway and only hit me a little bit. But I don't actually know if that actually happened. I don't know if that's a dream or not. I don't know. It was probably a dream. But even if it wasn't really much.
There was one dream I had where like there was a bunch of highways intersecting and going on top of each other. The car I was in reared off through the railing and fell like 10 stories.
Oh no.
Yeah, that was a nightmare.
Yeah. That sounds not nice. Falling dreams are the worst ones.
Yeah.
Like you have the ones where like
if I had the dream question here, I guess maybe I could ask it for the next. I mean, not ask it. I guess next I could say it for the next question we have. But we're still doing the injuries.
That's fair. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I will probably mention a dream in the next question because the next question is a very general one.
I don't really have a dream journal per se, but like, yeah, I have written down dreams.
We'll save the dream talk for the next question. Do you have an injury to mention? Another one?
Yeah, I might as well go into car injuries. Like, I've only gotten one serious car injury from an accident, not like actually getting hit by a car, right, like while I'm outside of it. Yeah, there was like a few times where I didn't get hurt at all. Like, it was just winter and the road was too slippery. Yeah. Right. There was another time where like the brakes failed.
Oh no.
That was fun.
I bet. That would be scary as hell, I'd imagine.
The second time there was a brake failure in another car. Right. That was serious. We ran into a back of a school bus.
Oh no.
The school bus that was going to my school. So some kids, when I got back to the school afterwards, they were like, "What happened?
Why did you try to kill us?"
I wasn't the one driving, though.
Oh no. Is everyone okay?
Yeah, that was a very bad moment. Everyone was okay in the bus. But my chest got hurt a lot.
Oh yeah,
and I have a feeling ever since then, I have a feeling that some of my breathing problems are probably because of that.
Oh, was it that bad?
The seatbelt like ran right into my chest.
Oh god, yeah.
I was
that doesn't sound
having
nice.
trouble breathing for like the next 10 minutes.
Yeah, that doesn't sound
entire
good.
The entire front of the car was destroyed. It was just wasn't there anymore.
Yeah, that doesn't sound good.
Since I was in the back seat, it wasn't as serious for me, but my mom had to go to the hospital.
Is she okay?
Yeah.
That's good. Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
Still, she's okay now.
That is insane.
But, yeah, I could have died there.
Yeah, that...
It was awful.
Yeah, that doesn't sound nice.
Luckily, I'm still here.
Yeah, luckily you're still here.
Luckily, I'm still here, but I feel like I still have like lingering breathing problems from that.
How long ago was it?
It was like sophomore year of high school, which you probably wouldn't know what that is.
How long ago was that in years? How long ago in years? That means nothing to me.
Like 3 or 4.
3 or 4 years ago. Okay. And yeah, breathing problems. Yeah, that's probably not good.
Through the rest of the day, like, it wasn't serious enough for me that like I wanted to go to the hospital because there was some important stuff happening at school that day. But I probably should have gone to the hospital.
Yeah, because now you've... Yeah, I feel as if you might want to get that checked out if you can.
Well, no, I did get chest x-rays recently, and there's nothing wrong. But...
Right.
Well, they say there's nothing wrong, so I hope it's okay.
Hopefully it's just placebo. Like, and you're fine.
Yeah, but
it's
through
just
the rest of the day, like, it was hard for me.
Yeah.
I got a day out of band class because I couldn't play my instrument.
Yeah, because of the breathing. But
really, I should have gone to the hospital. What was wrong with
Yeah, you should have. Especially if your mum went. Backseat or not, you were still in that car.
Yeah, at least we haven't gotten in any accidents since then.
Yeah, that's good at least, but still.
There was one that could have been an accident. There was someone who was, like, it seemed like they have done this multiple times. They're trying to get people to run into the back of their car.
Oh, yeah, people who do that,
Yeah. Luckily, when we pulled in front of them, because my mom was going like, ugh, they only barely hit our car and then ran off. Like, there was no damage, but we could feel that it got hit.
Yeah, that's fair. No, I've seen videos of people who do that, and it's
we didn't actually hit them, luckily, so they couldn't get on our case. But
yeah,
I hate people like that.
Yeah, I've seen videos of them, and they're just, why do you do that?
Like, they just want to get some extra cash from like winning the case or something.
But a lot of the time, if you have like a dash cam, you're gonna win.
Yeah, we don't have a dash cam, but considering how many accidents happen, I feel like we should.
Like, I don't drive, so it's not exactly good advice, but apparently, yeah, get one.
Yeah. I probably should also definitely get security for my house, but we're kind of poor.
That's fair.
But
I'm
saving up right now, like the little bits of money I'm getting from work, I'm saving up right now to actually finally build a PC.
Oh, base.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I think, like, if I want to go, like, flex, I'll get a 3070, but I'm probably going to get a 3060.
3060 will do you just well, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm still here with my 1660, and it does me perfectly fine, but it's not going to do very well for much longer. But no. Back to injuries.
I just kind of want to future-proof my.
Yeah, you definitely. If you can get one for a good price, definitely go for it because it will last longer. Mm-hmm. Like the 1660, unless you find one for super cheap these days, don't get it. This applies to anyone watching. There's a singular
micro center that exists in my state that I'll probably go to get parts from.
That's fair. We have pretty much nothing like that over here. We just get everything online. But no,
I just don't trust online.
Yeah, I don't know. It depends where you're going from. But no, back to injuries. So I don't have a lot more. Like, I have more, obviously, but like written down that I want to tell, I have. Which one's more interesting to tell next? It sounds a bit gross, so I don't know if I want to tell the story. Actually, it's not even that much of a story. Just I'm missing a toenail, but.
Oh.
Bashed it on the door.
That's probably going to happen to me because I got a fungus problem.
Fungus among us?
No. I've got a fungus problem on my toe, so I'm probably gonna have to get the toenail removed, which is fine.
That's fair.
Do we really need toenails?
I'd rather not talk. You do. I'd rather not talk about feet and toes and stuff. It's a bit gross. I bashed it on a door once, and it hasn't really grown. It's gross. Anyway, the other one is I pretty badly cut my finger with a knife when I was chopping food a few months ago. There's no story to it. I was cutting a bunch of bacon and my finger slipped, and it was a pretty deep cut. It was a very deep cut. It wasn't very pleasant at all.
That was too, but it wasn't very deep. So
this one was very deep. I mean, it wasn't very deep. It felt very deep.
I just don't like cutting things.
Yeah, I do. Like, I bought these little finger guards from Amazon. It's like
I should probably do that.
It's like a little shield type thing, but you slide a finger into, and then when you're cutting, it makes this little, barrier against the knife in your fingers. So I haven't actually used it yet because I want to wash it first. I haven't got it, but I don't know. I haven't used it, but I get very worried about cutting. It also doesn't help that when I'm cutting food, my chopping board slides around so much. I need to get a different one. It's just some shitty plastic one, but the one I have, it just slides around so much, so I have to stay perfectly still when I'm cutting.
I've got a glass one.
Yeah, mine's just
I got a glass
really cheap
one
plastic
with
one.
Rubber nubs in the bottom to keep it in place.
Yeah, that'd be perfect actually. I have some shitty plastic one.
Yeah,
and I'm yet to get another one.
If I say another injury, I guess I could say another minor one. There was one time I dropped a hammer on my foot.
Oh,
but I didn't break anything. Luckily. It was just the very edge of my big toe.
Yeah, not great. Yeah, hammers.
Not much to say about that one, though.
Yeah.
But I can say a more serious one. Literally last year at the end of school, it was my final year.
Right.
We were playing football on the outside fields, and not American football.
The actual football.
I refuse to play American football in any capacity.
An American referring to it as American football instead of just football? Unheard of.
Yeah, but I had to... They basically made us play these sports. I couldn't get out of it. Yeah. And I had no choice but to go into gym class at least once because it's a requirement for graduation, which is annoying. We're playing football, and I'm not very good at it. And my shoes were also in a terrible state. So two of us get to a ball at the same time to try and kick it. And my knee my ankle caves in. Ouch. Got a fracture. Had to be in a boot for weeks.
Yeah, that sounds horrible.
And I can say I never want to have to use crutches again. It was horrible on my shoulders and arms as well.
Yeah, I've never used them, but they don't sound very pleasant.
I would have rather had one of those things where you could just lay your leg on and pull yourself forward. I've seen them before, but I don't know what they're called. It's just a wheel thing, but it's not a wheelchair. You just put your leg up on it and use your other leg to move.
I did just think of another. It's not really an injury; it's just a thing that happened. It did hurt. I'll tell you.
After this, I could say my worst injury I think I ever got. So, you do yours first.
Yeah, mine's not really that bad. It hurt for a few minutes, but it was fine. The time I was stung by a wasp. It was very painful.
The first time that happened to me, which is the only time it's ever happened to me, stupidly, I was cleaning out a pool with my bare hands. There was a bee there. Oh. It stung my hand.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Luckily, I found out I'm not allergic, so
that's good. That's good. I don't
because my mom is.
I have a fear of bees and wasps. Like, bees are lovely.
I do too,
but I'm still scared of them. Like, I don't want to be stung.
I love bees as a I love bees as an animal, but them being near me,
I like them when they are very far away from me. But
isn't there like a form of bee that's like completely harmless, or am I just?
I think they're Japanese bees or something.
Like, aren't honeybees, or am
I don't, I think they can. I think it's a type of bee that's in Japan. I think I've heard about it before. I think it's called like a Japanese honeybee or something. Japanese something. But no, they can't sting. But no, so the time I was stung by a wasp, it was a few years ago. Actually, no, it was like a year ago. I was with Sean, and I think it was like the middle of winter, which you don't typically see.
Wait, there was a bee in winter?
It was a wasp in winter. I think it was like August or September, so it was like actually very late summer, I think. Actually, no.
Oh, okay.
I think it was like, no, I think it actually was like December. I don't know, but I don't think it was summer. Now, I'm trying to remember exactly what happened.
See me eating a potato, by the way, I'm eating something in real life.
That's fair. But no, I think it actually was like winter, so I don't know why there was a wasp, just a lone wasp in the winter, but there was.
Strange.
It was. There's not a crazy dramatic story. I was getting into bed, and for some reason there was a wasp in the bed, and it stung me. But I didn't know. Like, I laid down, and like a minute later, my leg was really hurting, and then I turn around, and Sean just sees a wasp just on the bed. Like,
wow.
It was a wasp, and it stung me, and I didn't know that it stung me until the pain like kicked in like a minute later, and then he got rid of it, which I don't understand. So with spiders,
I'm pretty sure there's like a moth. I'm pretty sure there's like a moth in my house right now, and I haven't been able to catch it really.
Yeah, that's fair.
But it's kind of annoying.
So Sean, he doesn't like spiders. So there was one time where it was me, him, and his sibling. We were playing a game. There was a spider, and I had to get rid of the spider. But with that wasp, I couldn't. I was shit scared. He knows I don't like wasps, but he was fine picking it. So he doesn't like the spiders, but he likes the wasp. But I don't understand that. Like, I don't get wasps.
With me, like, if they're not poisonous, I'll let a spider or a moth land on me or something. But
I wouldn't make it land on me. Like, I'm fine removing a spider
for sure.
Like, I'm fine removing a spider from me. But if there's a wasp on me, no.
In my state, I'm pretty sure there's no venomous spiders at all. So that's lucky for me.
Yeah, we have a few.
I don't know if moths. I don't even know if moths can be poisonous.
I don't think so. Not to my knowledge, anyway.
I've been to zoos where there's a butterfly exhibit, and I've let the butterflies land on me. So I'm fine with that.
I think butterflies can be venomous.
So if
I think.
Yeah, with the moth in my house, if it would ever land on me for whatever reason, I just try and get it outside that way.
Yeah, that's fair.
I just don't know where it is right now. I saw it once, and now I don't know where it is.
If behind you.
It's not.
It's crawling up your arm.
It's not.
Look harder.
Yeah, but like bees, I absolutely adore bees. But then when they're near me, I'm like, get that thing away from me.
Yeah, I like bees, but I don't want them anywhere near me. I don't like the especially when they do that thing where you're just outside and there's just a bee floating right next to your ear.
Oh God, no!
That's like the scariest thing because you don't want to do anything, but the thought of it stinging inside your ear or something. No.
I normally just try and run away as quick as I can.
Yeah, that's like apparently the worst thing you can do.
See, the game concept I shared earlier, I also want to design some like a race of like bees. But like I want to make them unique. Like imagine like freeze flame. But
right.
It's a honey hive area or something. Like
bees.
Like, bees live there, but they're like elemental.
Elemental bees. We would love a good elemental bee.
Yeah.
But
what were we talking about again? Oh, yeah, injuries.
Yes. Do you have another one? Because I'm all right now.
Yeah. Here's my super serious one.
Right.
So, I was like at a winter camp one year, like very young as a kid.
Right.
I was at a winter camp. And the people thought it was a great idea to go sledding on a hill that had a singular stump in the middle.
Right.
You could probably know where this is going. You probably know where this is going.
I can imagine where this is going.
So, I went to go down. My sled flipped around. Tried to get it back forward. By the time I got it back forward, facing the stump, very huge bump on my head afterwards.
I would imagine. That doesn't sound pleasant.
And they were stupid and said, "Oh, don't take him to the hospital. Just get first aid."
Why?
People. And since I was a kid, all I was doing was crying.
Yeah.
So I couldn't have any say in the moment.
Why?
Anyway,
that is so dumb.
And we didn't think that it damaged it other than the skin.
What happened?
This month, I go to scratch my head. I realize there's like a line going through my head. And I'm like, oh no. It better not be what I think it is.
Huh.
I should probably get that x-rayed.
Yeah, you might want to get that checked.
That could legitimately have been a cracked skull back then, and they were just too oblivious. And I also probably got a concussion for sure.
Yeah, you definitely should have had that checked out. Definitely should have had that checked out.
Reminder, I was a kid. I had stupid brain. Didn't know what to do back then.
I'm in shock. Okay.
Yeah, but literally this month I noticed that. It's going from the spot where I think the injury happened down to like my eye, like in a line. It's probably not the greatest thing.
Yeah, and you only just noticing that now.
I'm definitely going to go get that checked.
Yeah, definitely get that checked.
It's been this long and I'm only just now noticing.
That's crazy.
And considering like a few weeks later, I haven't been able to get it checked.
Yeah.
A few weeks later, it's still there. Same place. I think it's something serious, probably.
Yeah, you definitely want to get that checked out. Okay, moving on to the next question.
I don't have any more.
Yeah, I have more injuries, but I'll save them for maybe an injuries part 3 if that ends up happening. And also because my mind's gone blank right now. I promise you there are more injuries. I just can't think right now. I've thought of those 4 or 5, but there's more. And there's like 1 or 2 more, which I'll say I have just thought of. Piss, yes. We're consuming this conspicuous yellow liquid. Okay, so the next question isn't really a question. It's just a segue for you to tell a story that I don't really know what the story is. The question is, do you have any other funny or embarrassing stories? That's your question. You asked to write that down.
Oh, I have a funny story right now, actually. Speaking of insects, like we were talking about earlier, there's an ant on my monitor.
There is an ant on your monitor.
It's just there. I don't know where it came from.
That does somehow remind me. I didn't actually know this until like a year ago, but silverfish are a real thing. It's not just a Minecraft thing. Oh yeah,
I knew they were a real thing.
I didn't know they were a thing until like a year ago.
Huh.
I didn't know that. Sean had one in his bathroom. And I didn't know they were a real thing.
On my monitor B. I'm just going to let the ant roam.
Rome, King Rome, Among Us, Hyrule, Breath of the Wild.
No way. There's no way the old man is the king of Hyrule. That's impossible.
Oh my god, impossible. Right. But no, so any other stories? I can't really think of anything. Something might pop up when you tell your story, but I'm sure you wrote this question down for a reason, so go for it.
I'm going to tell my kind of funny trans origin story.
Yes.
Once again, it starts with Mystery Dungeon. Are you even surprised at this point?
How is Mystery Dungeon your answer to everything?
It is. It just is, okay? Somehow, some way, it comes back. But yeah, so I'm surprised people aren't annoyed by it by now. Like, I would be surprised, I mean, but people still think Among Us is funny.
It is.
So,
Among Us, Sussius. Look at those books.
So I don't think me talking about Mystery Dungeon annoys like as much as I think it does.
Go for it.
Okay, so like, obviously there's a big reason that I obsess over it. So that's what I'm going to share now.
Yes.
Like, not everyone in the server can even realize it because, like, it's a Pokemon dungeon crawler. Like, not everyone is going to be playing this game or care about it in the slightest.
Go for the story.
But, yes. When I was a kid, I was way too young to understand half the game. So in 2019, after I heard, like, a soundtrack of it on YouTube, I decided to give it another chance. There's free versions of the same game because Pokemon likes to do that.
They do.
But all I had at the time was Explorers of Darkness, even though Explorers of Sky is considered the most definitive version.
Right.
Yeah. So the main character in the game is meant to be like a self-insert. Like, it's meant to be you.
Right. Okay.
So there's like a personality quiz at the start to determine what Pokemon you get.
Right.
It's literally a Pokemon Isekai, if you even know what that means.
Probably not.
You're a human getting thrown into the world just out of nowhere.
Pokemon? Yes. Right.
And so, like, I couldn't be bothered to answer the questions properly at the time. I just skipped right past them. And
right.
It's an old game, so there was a gender question at the end. I skipped over that one too. Picked female.
Right.
Without realizing it. And the game had the nerve afterwards to say, you seem to be the naive type. Like, you're too naive to answer the quiz properly. You're too naive to answer the quiz. So take what you get. You're playing as the funny pink cat now.
Right.
And so I was like, you know what? Fine. You're right, game. I'll take what you give me. This is my fault. So, I didn't want to name the player character after myself. So I had to pick a quick on the spot name. And I picked Rose.
Rose. Right. Okay.
So I didn't think much of it at the start, but as I got further through the game, I got more attached to all the characters and such. And by the very end, I realized, maybe this really is me.
That's really cool. I like that.
Yeah. It was like my awakening moment. I'm a girl now.
Your awakening moment was after you just rushed through the personality quiz in a Pokemon Mystery Dungeon game. I love that so much. Like, my origin story is like nothing.
It was like just a blessing in disguise that I didn't realize until the end. Because I'm like happier. I'm like happier and more confident in myself now.
Yeah.
I'm like way less lonely than I used to be.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, like I find that really cool. My story is nothing. It's just me thinking.
It all started from a video game calling me naive.
And it definitely wasn't wrong.
Wow. I'll take it. I'm not gonna just ignore. I'm just not gonna deny it.
But no, that's really cool.
I can be like that sometimes.
My origin story is literally just me thinking about it for many months, many months, and then coming to a conclusion. It wasn't a game related or anything crazy dramatic. It was just me thinking a lot and talking to the few trans friends I had at the time.
Oh yeah, and by the way, it also made me a furry, so there's that.
the double origin story.
Double origin story.
It was a 2-for-1 deal. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon.
Do you have another? I have like one more story to say after this, and then I can't think of anything else to say. But have you thought of anything?
I had something 10 minutes ago, and I've forgotten it.
Oh no.
I have forgotten it.
Okay, I'll just say my story then.
Yeah, go for it.
So this was another trans story of when I came out to my mom.
Okay.
So, I was too scared to say anything. So you want to know my great idea of coming out?
What's your great idea?
Putting an image of my Persona ref on the computer screen. Instead of just putting a trans flag, I thought, oh, why don't I put the Persona on there?
That's definitely one way of doing it.
So, like, I call her into the room, and I show her the screen, and she's like, so you're trans too? Just because my sister came out, like, a month ago before then.
Based. Huh.
And all I could do was, like, lay down my face into my blanket and be like, yes. Yes.
I like that a lot.
With, like, the most flushed face I've ever had.
Flushed.
Flushed. Flushed.
The question, however, is your family supportive?
Yes. Well, I haven't told my dad yet.
Huge W.
I think my dad's going to notice eventually. He's seen my username already. So,
Rosalu.
If that's not an indicator, I don't know what is.
That's fair.
See, he's only seen my username because it's my Switch username.
Yeah. Rosalu.
But yeah, that whole situation led into me having to explain, like, why is, like, my mom was like, why is there a human animal here to represent you? And I'm like, oh no, I have to explain to furries.
How much detail did you go into when explaining the concept of being a furry to your mum?
Not really that much. I just had to say, okay, if you research it, some stuff it says is not true.
Yeah.
Or at least not for me, it isn't.
That's fair. No, that's interesting.
Yeah.
And also supportive.
Luckily, she doesn't care
awesome.
that much.
That is how you parent. That's how you parent. My family's not supportive. Yeah. But hey, it's not like I care.
She may be supportive, but she's still a Karen sometimes.
That's fine.
In stores.
Karen in a bad way or just...
There. Sometimes she'll be like, I got ripped off going in there, talking to manager.
Oh, so she's just a Karen. Okay, I thought the wording
it doesn't
was just,
happen all the time.
That's fine. If having a Karen as a parent is what it takes to have a supportive one, that's the trade-off.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
I don't know how much detail I want to go into about my family on the podcast, but I will maybe one day. I don't know. We'll see. Just my family's not the best, but
yeah,
I couldn't really care less, to be honest. I'm at a point where I've developed as a person, and I feel as if I don't need them. Oh god, this is making me want to talk about my leaving family story, but I don't know if you want to be subjected to that.
Me? Oh, I'm fine with anything. Drag it on further and further.
It's an interesting story, but I don't know if it's too sad. It seems relevant today because a certain family member got in contact with me like a couple hours before this podcast started. It didn't go well at all. I will say that it did not go well. I got to a point where I was setting the boundary where, yes, my name is Libby. Don't call me anything else, or I'm not talking to you. And since then, I've put my phone on my desk, I've covered it with a bit of paper, and I have not looked at it.
Yeah, that's yikes.
I mean, I haven't spoken to anyone in the family for like 2 years. I left, and they have not once checked on me. They do not give a shit.
See, I feel like my dad would be, because he's been nice. He's like really nice at times. He shows disapproval for a lot of like right-wing stuff for sure.
That's good.
Which is good. And
no, that's
yeah.
good. That's good. Honestly,
he also agrees that J.K. Rowling is the worst person ever.
Good. Good. Because she's absolute scum.
Yeah. Worst person.
But no, I'm just trying to think of how much detail I want to go into about the story. Just overall, like, I had to deal with my mum being lovely and a very supportive mother. Sarcasm highly intentional. For 3 years. I dealt with it for 3 years. Before it got to a point where, like, I just got up and left. Got on the nearest train to Sean. I will say Sean's family is the family that I never had. His family is absolutely just, they are amazing. So they let me stay with them for a bit until I found myself a place. But it's just, since then, I have been doing so much better. So much now I can actually be, myself and not someone that I never was.
I still hope that someday you can get like your own actual own apartment where you can get better internet for streaming.
Oh, definitely. Right now, yeah. Yeah. Because I don't want to go into
it keeps cutting out of streams.
Yeah. My internet is very I don't really live in exactly a city or anything. I live in pretty much the middle of nowhere, so I have to hotspot with my phone and the connections are not great. But I don't really want to go into a whole lot of detail with what happened before I left family, but all I will say is that I've been in a kind of like supportive care thing for the past 2 years because it was severe enough. I'm okay. Don't worry. I'm okay. And yeah, I'm at a point where I have to set these boundaries with family because to be honest, most of them I want nothing to do with. I only really responded to the person who wrote to me earlier because it was about something else, but a whole thing.
I'm glad I had the confidence to come out because now I'm on hormone replacement and like
that is absolutely amazing.
Yes.
Very jealous, but I'm also very happy.
The bad thing is though is that I live in a country that's every other day seems to be
going backwards. Yeah, this country is also getting bad. We're both in really shitty countries for trans people now.
I hope Germany is okay if I ever go to move.
Germany actually sounds nice. No, so like if I could move to any country, it would either be Germany, Sweden, or Canada. I would like to move to any of those three. Sweden sounds nice.
You'll move in and
just go say hi to Lily.
Say hi to Lily. Yeah.
I don't know, just those three.
Like one day you just appear there and you're like, oh, hello, Lily.
I just knock on her door. I knock on every single door in Stockholm just to find her.
You use her IP address. No, don't do that, please.
God, just track her down. I will not do that. I'm joking. I need to clarify. But no, I've heard good things about those three countries. I don't know. But
it's just when you're on a Minecraft server, apparently you get to know everyone's IP address.
It's a thing with anything online. It's nothing to worry. Literally, you can go onto any website and they will find your IP. Yeah. Like, it's not like they can do much with it. It just gets logged.
There's websites that take advantage of it.
Yeah, but that also applies to in-game servers. But so we've made a joke of it on my Minecraft server because every single server, to my knowledge, like just has like an IP linked to it to each user, which is a very common thing. It's nothing to worry or panic about. But it's a thing that we've turned into a joke that, I'm going to track you down because I have your IP address. It's just a joke. But we turn into a whole thing. It's funny.
That's just a general internet joke at this point.
It is, but I need to clarify that I'm only joking.
Today, I am outside your house. This is due to a new technology known as doxing. I had to do the best Tom Scott voice I could. That probably wasn't very great.
No, I can't do a good Tom Scott voice.
It's like when I try and make my voice high pitched, it just doesn't work yet. Like right now, I'm trying so hard right now, but it's not really going very well.
I feel this applies to both of us. Our voices.
I probably should have been talking like this for the whole thing, actually.
Our voices are definitely better than they were like a year ago. I look back.
Mine isn't really. Mine is kind of the same.
No, I feel as if it's hard to notice, but I look back at like a stream or whatever from a year ago, and I just sound like really deep and all confident like this. But I don't know. I talk a bit higher, a bit softer now, and I prefer it. But it's very far from where I want it to be. But I don't know. It's fine. That's a good little clip section that I can put on the shorts channel. Yeah, it's a thing that I'm doing now, by the way. So I have a clips channel, which is normally for like YouTube shorts and stuff, but I've also started putting small sections from the podcast on there.
For a while.
There was. I used to do a Animal Crossing thing.
I knew there was some upload down there, but I didn't know if like there was any still being uploaded.
I don't really upload that many shorts. They're very quick to do. I always forget to do them. But no, I've been putting clips on there. There's a link in the description. But
that one Among Us one that got loads of views on TikTok.
Yeah, it's I made a TikTok a couple of years ago. All it was anyone watching the podcast right now, you can see it, but anyone listening, I'll describe it to you. There's an item in Minecraft called raw copper. And
it looks like Among Us.
It does a bit, yeah. I'm going to put it up right here. So...
anyone who's listening won't be able to see this. So.
Yeah, anyone who's listening, I'm sorry, you can't really see, but I will describe it to you. So there's an item called raw copper, right? So it's orange, but it has like these lumps of copper on it, on the texture, but there's also these lumps of green.
Oh.
And if you rotate it, the green parts of the orange texture look like a visor. So imagine like an orange Among Us crewmate where the visor and a couple little parts are like a light green. So it's very coppery, but the shape is Among Us. And once you see the shape in that texture, you cannot unsee it. And I think at this point, no one had actually noticed it. So I made a TikTok where it's just me placing raw copper and then rotating it. And then it just plays like the first note of the body discovery sound from Among Us. And it got like 3.5 million views and like 250,000 likes on TikTok.
There's also raw iron. Raw iron literally just looks
raw iron does... I've heard people say that raw iron looks like chicken. I don't really see it. I think it's just the color. It kind of looks like raw chicken. But it doesn't really. Not really. But no, the raw copper TikTok, I've done it a couple of years ago. It's still getting likes to this day, but it's got like 3.5 million views on TikTok. I was very proud of that.
I wonder if any of this stuff from podcasts are also going to get onto Tmall somehow.
Probably, if it's hard. Like, I tried having a section from the Tato videos, like the one with Lion doing his little bit. But like, it's a lot longer than a normal Tmall clip.
We've got 3 days until Tears of the Kingdom, and I still haven't finished my mega builds.
Yeah, I've been working on episode 4 for the past few weeks, and I really want to finish it before Tears of the Kingdom comes out. So that way I could just spend a week or whatever. I really want to
make this build be finished without the server shutting down.
That's fair.
Until season 4.
Yeah, that's fair. Tears of the Kingdom isn't going to be the one closing the server, the main server. Yeah. That was a joke. I don't know.
But I'm going to be very busy with that game.
Oh yeah, same. I'm going to be spending the next couple of weeks on Tears of the Kingdom when that comes out. Also, I'm going to have a mini podcast break after this one. So I don't know when the 4th podcast will be coming out. Probably in like a week. Which isn't really a break, to be fair. I have a couple of videos that I want to get done, and I also want to just fully enjoy Tears of the Kingdom without also having to edit things. But yeah, the next podcast will be in about a week. I don't even know how often podcast episodes usually get posted for other podcasts. I only watch one other podcast, and they do it every week. They do it every Friday.
Meanwhile, we've been doing it every 2 days.
Every 2 days so far. But they've been really fun. Like, I was planning on doing this one in a few days' time. But I was thinking, hang on. I want to have Rose in the next podcast, but you said you're only really free on Tuesdays. So
Tuesdays
I wrote to you.
Thursdays.
Okay,
It
and
could have been
Thursdays.
Thursday,
I didn't catch that part.
I just
but it was
decided
fine.
not to.
It was fun. I think this one turned out quite well.
It's fine.
For having like a few hours to prepare.
It was fun.
It was really fun. Also, hope you like the set as well. We're in kind of like a tree.
Yeah, the tree theme.
The tree theme.
It's so awesome.
With the leaves. Leaves. Get it? Because leaf.
Leaf.
Me.
My skin right now. In Minecraft.
Also, notice how there's a poppy growing through the moss on the table. There's a poppy growing through the moss, but anyway.
Because I used to have a character named Poppy, which I don't even know if they're gonna be a character.
I just wanted to have a little reference to it.
No, I feel like my idea is I kind of want Poppy to be like the WD Gaster of my game. They make cool. Some appearances, but you don't really get to see them in full.
How would you shorten Poppy? PP.
No. I'm splashing you with water. That didn't work. It's Minecraft.
She threw a water bottle at me and I just consumed it. But no, that's it. That's it for the questions. It's been nice really having you here. Thank you for being here. It was lovely.
I will see myself out. Goodbye. No, I'll stay here.
She got up, walked a few steps, and just returned. But no, it's been nice. So thank you for being here. I have a few ideas for who's going to be in the next one. I'm not going to say because I haven't really spoken to them about it, but it's going to be a nice one. It's going to be a chill one. But thank you for
tell if this one. This one was like a mix of chill and laughing.
Laughing, and it's been
serious stuff.
It's been interesting.
Very, very serious questions.
Very serious. It was a nice chill podcast. Yeah. I think I'm at a point now, 3 podcasts in. I think I'm starting to like settle and adjust to doing these. The first 2, they were a bit. And they were still really good, but I'm just still adjusting to things, and it's still new to me. But I'm getting used to this.
Wait, there's something I gotta say that's gotta get into the podcast some way or another. Uwu.
Everyone who's been on this podcast so far, they've like made it, whether a subconscious thing or not, they've made a plan to say a certain thing. Lion said something along the lines of Ghost Trick.
Mine was also piss.
Acing had to mention Splatoon for 20 minutes, and you had to say
I had to mention Mystery Dungeon.
I think if we get Prim on a podcast, she will definitely say Uwu like multiple times.
Yeah.
I'll have to get her to say Uwu. It's going to be interesting. Uwu. Anyway.
I'm not even the Uwu person anymore. Prim stole the title.
You used to be the Uwu master. Now that's Prim, yeah.
You had an entire event on season 2 where you found out what was underneath the Uwu. Do you remember what I'm talking about?
No, I vaguely do. So outside, right. So in one of our Minecraft seasons on our server, outside of Rose's base, she had a big sign saying Uwu. Mansion. Yeah, she had a mansion, but just outside of it, there's a big like spelling of the word Uwu, and I think I hit something under it.
It was another portal.
It was another portal in the shape of Uwu, because we had a thing where you can make custom shapes, and it said Uwu. And I think I hid a room underneath it.
You put a diamond block underneath it.
Yeah. I hid a room underneath the Uwu, and it was great.
But you also hid another room inside my base as well. That I just reused it and turned it into Poppy's room.
Yeah, you did turn it. Yeah.
Which I also had a secret hidden thing underneath it of the transitioner.
I don't know.
The machine that makes you trans.
I
don't know why I made that.
Oops, I sat on your head. That was a mistake. I don't know. I like making hidden rooms.
Any closing thoughts?
Uwu. That's my closing thought.
Piss.